everybody, welcome to Make It with Mod Podge. I'm Steve Piacenza.
And I'm Cathie Fillion, and today we have 12 plus Halloween DIY ornaments to show you how to make.
It is the most wonderful time of the year for me and Cathie, of course. We love Halloween.
This is so fun to share with these projects with you today because all of these are using things from the dollar store and we've reimagined them and we're recreating them and giving them makeovers to create all these cool ornaments for our tree. Now, if you've seen Make It with Mod Podge before, you know that we like to do lots and lots of techniques and projects. So we really do have 12 plus. Some are simple, some are a little bit harder, but you know, all of them are very doable.
Yeah, these are some of our favorite videos to do because of the transformation. We love taking dollar store items and transforming them into something super cool. And behind us is our Halloween tree. So why don't we take a walk on back here just so you can see what we're talking about and what we're doing. We have everything with Mod Podge to glittering items using tissue paper, napkins, cheesecloth.
And everyone knows about the cheesecloth ghosts.
Yeah.
But these cheesecloth ghosts,
Right
like
here.
we're doing a cheesecloth skull, it's a little bit different. We're actually going over the items with cheesecloth to create texture.
Yeah.
We're using napkins, like on these styrofoam balls here.
And these were amazing right up here. We have these coffins that we found at the dollar store. We loved the shape of them. And we just did paper right on, they were very plain. We just did paper right on top of them, added embellishments. So we have lots and lots to show you. We're gonna be using all different kinds of Mod Podge today and all different kind of dollar store items to get started.
So before we get started, I just want to let you know, please ask any questions.
Yeah.
We will be on the computer answering your questions live. So if you have questions, just go ahead and ask them and we'll be there answering them. And of course, follow Plaid on all their social channels so that you can get more inspiration throughout the holiday season. That is Halloween.
Our favorite time. And we have Edward on camera today. Thank you, Edward. So let's get started. Kath, what are you starting with?
I am going to start with napkin decoupage. This is one of my favorite types of decoupage. I just have regular store-bought napkins. These I think were like $1.99.
Yeah, and the great thing about napkins is there's so many different designs, especially for Halloween. We had a tough choice picking, but we picked our spider webs.
And I like the spiderweb design because it's an all-over design, so you really don't have to worry about cutting out really detailed looks.
Yeah.
And I do want to say the ornament that we're making is this really cute spiderweb and rat ornament.
The rat was the embellishment. We're not going to show you how to make the rat.
Steve glued the rat on.
It's Halloween.
I was like, that's so gross.
Yeah.
But this technique is really cool for Christmas ornaments too, and there's so many great Christmas napkins out there as well. So all of these ideas really can go to different holidays.
Absolutely, 100%.
Once you learn how to napkin decoupage an ornament, you're
a
on your way.
Christmas tree, an Easter tree, which my mom has. There's all sorts of holidays for this.
So I started with a plain glass ornament like this. And you could do a ball shape. I really liked this flat shape because we were planning on gluing something to it. And then I primed it. And the way I prime it is with the Folk Art Home Decor chalk. And this is my favorite. This is like my go-to product in the craft room. I use this white on just about everything. You'll see it a few times today. So I just went ahead and painted the ornament. And that's gonna create a nice background base because when the napkin goes down, you want to see that white under there. So you can see the white popping through. Whereas if it was clear, it would be much more muddy looking. So I'm going to be doing all of the decoupage onto the painted ornament. I've gone ahead and prepped out my napkin. One thing that's very important is that you only want to work with one ply of the napkin. So I've separated the napkin. This was a 3-ply napkin. So this white part here is actually 2 plies stuck together, and you're only working with the one single printed layer. And that's very important in order to get that good look at the end. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just using the gloss formula, and I'm going to apply the Mod Podge gloss starting at the top there, all over the front. Well, it could be front or back, it doesn't really matter. Actually, when we were finished with them, we just picked whichever side looked the prettiest and chose that for the front. Since this is, and that's why I like using the all over design too. You just have a little bit more flexibility. If it's your first time, it's much easier.
Yeah, this also works with the mat formula. If you only have the mat at home, you can use the mat formula on this project also.
So I have got it all coated, and I'm just gonna place my napkin down, and I'm putting it a little bit overlapping there, as you can see. And then I'll just take a little bit more, and I'm not putting very much pressure, very lightly.
Look how easy that goes down.
Just go ahead and then just kind of work it around that top area, just like so. And I did take the hanger off because I wanted to make sure I got all the way up there. And you just kind of work it around the edges. Just like that, and you can just see it flattens right down. Now, normally I would let this dry before doing the other side, but I just want to show you how quickly you can just go ahead and, oh, a little sharp in there. Add more Mod Podge to the back. Make sure you get those edges. And then I've got a second napkin, and I cut this one just a tiny bit bigger so that I get some of that overlap. And you just place it right down on there. And the same thing, just go in and keep working it. And for this, I'm not really worried about getting some of the wrinkles because I kind of like that look with Halloween. If you were doing something where you didn't want any wrinkles, you could put a piece of cling wrap over there that helps smooth out those wrinkles. But you just keep working that around like that until it's all the way covered and dried. And when it's dry, it's going to look just like this. And you can see this is where some of that overlap happened, but I love that. You could glue a ribbon over that if you didn't like it. You can add ribbons here. So that is our glass napkin decoupage.
Let's show them the round one.
Now these, so at our dollar store here, you can get a 3-pack of styrofoam balls for $1. So we used those and we did a ball like this all the way around and glued the spider to it. And to create the hanger, we just hot glued ribbon right around there to create that loop. And we made a whole bunch of these for the tree. So we've got same kind of look, 2 different designs using the napkins for decoupage. So easy. So now that you've learned this technique, you're gonna probably be like me and be hoarding napkins when you see them.
Yeah. And you can make tons of these all at one time.
Yes, and for anyone doing holiday bazaars, seriously, like Christmas bazaars and stuff, these are so simple.
All right, shall we move on to one of my favorites is skulls. Skulls, dollar store skulls. We see them every single year, all in different sizes.
And I think we make them over every year.
Well, we do, but we always make them different, right? So we're always trying to teach something new. But this year, we're doing cheesecloth on top of a plastic skull. Now, we've all seen cheesecloth ghosts. Let me just show you this first, actually.
I love this one.
This was a wood surface. And we're like, what can we do with this ghost? Because the shape was so cool. And we basically just did Mod Podge on top of the wood surface and then put cheesecloth on top of it. I've never seen it before, and we thought it was kind of cool, and it's a great little decoration and so easy to do. And then we just added gems around here, little embellishments on top of the ghost just to turn it into that. Of course, you can add whatever color gems you want for your Halloween style. But this was just a wood surface with cheesecloth on top of it. So let me show you the skulls that we did.
And I think one thing that's great about these sort of oversized ornaments is it's a lot of bang for the buck. And so if you're decorating a tree like we have here, you want some of those big ornaments.
Great filler.
And then little ornaments. So you need like a few different sizes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point. So here's the transformation. So this is the plain skull, and this is with the cheesecloth. We did cheesecloth and some glitter in the eyes. So you can kind of see how much more detailed this one. It looks a little bit more expensive for really just Mod Podge, cheesecloth, and some glitter. So
and
the
cheesecloth
transformation's
came from the dollar store too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's open this up. I'm gonna show you how to do this. So what I like to start off with is our cheesecloth, and I just kind of, nothing's precise here. I just kind of put it over like this. Remember, this is 2-ply cheesecloth, and then I cut just straight across like that. Very simple. And I open it up because it's 2-ply. I do 1-ply at a time. I don't double it up because I tried that and it just doesn't look as good. It kind of bulks up and it got a little bit bulky, so it's like
But I
one ply
love
at a
losing
time.
the detail, I think.
Yeah, exactly, because you want that detail in the nose and the teeth and all that. Then I go right on top of this like that, and then I cut that little piece off like this. I love cheesecloth because it's so,
Yeah.
you know, you can just kind of work with it in all different ways, and even the little wrinkles that come out of it are cool. So there we go, that's the start. Then I'm just taking our Mod Podge and I'm going straight directly on top of my item. And again, I'm covering the whole entire skull with Mod Podge because you don't want any of that coming up. Even the eyes, I go inside the eyes there, go all across it, and make sure, even in these little detailed areas in the teeth and stuff that are indented, you want to make sure that Mod Podge is right on in there because we're going to be pushing the cheesecloth in with our brush. Very important. Okay, so let's get in the back here. Right like that. Again, this is the gloss that we're using, but you can use the matte formula also, works just as well. And let's get on the back. You know, the dollar store has great items during Halloween. And you know, it's fairly inexpensive, especially the way we are. We like to change things up every single year. So this is just another great way to use Mod Podge and dollar store items to create your Halloween. Okay, also on the back here, that's where the tag was, but we'll never see that. There we go. I'm gonna turn it this way so Eddie, you can kind of see what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be placing the cheesecloth right on top of that, just like so. And then I'm gonna pull it tight. And I like to pull it all the way down to the bottom here. We're gonna cut off some of that excess, like that. And then what I do is I clip the eyes out, just like that. And I'm gonna use, still gonna use all that. I'm not cutting a hole, I'm cutting it so then I can push in that cheesecloth. Let's get some more Mod Podge on there and push it in. Kind of looks like cobwebs too. Okay. Take the bottom, snip off some of that excess that we don't need. Pull that out. And then
You got sticky fingers.
going straight on top of it again with the Mod Podge. So you can see how this really, the Mod Podge really gets in those details and it sticks right on down. You need to do both processes. You need to put it down first and then you need to go on top of it just to seal it. Go all the way around and you can see he's already, or she, is starting to come to life like that. Okay, so that's the first layer, but I did one layer and I let it dry completely. I usually let this thing dry. I let it dry about, I don't know, 2 hours, and I didn't like it as much, so I put another layer on top of it, and that's what gave it this look here. So you can even put another layer on top of this if you want. This is a 2-layer one. This is a 1-layer. And of course, once it dries, you're not gonna get all that foggy stuff from the Mod Podge. All the,
Oh yeah, it's gonna dry
it dries
clear.
much more clear.
And then
So
for
you can
the
see that.
eyes, we just added more Mod Podge right in there and sprinkled black glitter in.
That's it.
I love the detail.
Yeah, so you can kind of see that. I'm not going to put the other layer on because it's going to take too much time, but you understand you can keep layering it until you get the effect you want, and that's the that's the process. Yeah, for our cheesecloth skulls.
Skulls and the ghosts. I love the ghosts. Those turned out so cool. So the most traditional way of decoupaging is with paper. So we wanted to show you a quick makeover that we did. These are some coffins that we made over from the dollar store. We added paper here and we added ribbon around it and some embellishments and some flowers. They started out as these gift boxes, but it didn't really have the design. It looked a little kid for what we were doing for our tree. So we're gonna just use some of this black and white paper, and it's very simple. I just wanna show you. Now we're using them as ornaments, but these would make great gift boxes too. So if you wanted to give a little candy treat to like your kids or grandkids or special neighbors or something, this is a fun way to make over a gift box. So you're just gonna, I put the Mod Podge right on the back, and then we're gonna line it right on up. One thing I wanna say is that when you're tracing out your shape, use a pencil so you can erase it, and do it on the back side of the paper. And you just wanna press down like so. Now if you're gonna top coat, which will give it that glossy finish, wait about 15 minutes. In real life, I would want you to wait like 15 minutes, but here for this purpose, I'm gonna show you, you just wanna go up and down with nice even brush strokes, and that's gonna seal that paper down and give it a little shimmer. If you didn't want any shimmer, you would use matte Mod Podge, and if you wanted just a little bit, you would use satin. But we're going for some high shine, so we're gonna use the gloss.
High gloss for this Halloween.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I do feel like it's a little glitzy. We use a lot of gems.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We've got gold glitter coming up and stuff like that. And we're gonna show you marbling with Mod Podge.
Yes, on our pumpkins.
So once they're done, then you're just ready to embellish them out. So we did this leaf ribbon trim around there. I've got hot glue cobwebs still. And we've got our embellishments there and flowers. And as you can see, you can go ahead and still use it as a goodie box, or you can attach a hanger to it and hang it on your tree. If you're doing tree, use it for mantel decor, all different types of things. That's the one thing too with the craft stores now. You're seeing trees in these vibrant oranges, black trees, pink trees, purple trees, and garlands and wreaths now. So all of these different ornaments that we're making can be used with these different garlands or on their own.
Yeah, these are a score. I love these coffins.
Yeah, Steve was like calling me from the store. He's like texting me
"There's
pictures.
coffins!"
They're so cute. I'm like, buy them.
Yeah, so
buy
we know
them,
exactly
buy
what we're gonna do. The transformation's great on these. Yeah.
So fun. I really, these are awesome. And we did another one with spiderweb paper. So we've got, and when you go, on Instagram and on the blogs and everything, we're gonna have close-up pictures of all these projects.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get really good close-up looks, and they're so simple to do.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Everything's kind of fast forward when we do these projects. Okay, so next we're going to be doing the Mod Podge Ultra Glitter. It comes in gold, silver, and hologram. We're doing gold because it's going with our Halloween theme this year. And I found these plastic beakers at the dollar store. This one says poison on it. And here was another one. This one's done completely, but this was also in the same section, just plastic. And we decided to do the ultra glitter inside of the beakers themselves, not on the outside, on the inside, which is great because, it's plastic, it's see-through, and nothing comes off. And these are great for any type of Halloween party that you have or decoration. Now, of course, you can't put water in these or use them as a vase or anything like that because, the Mod Podge is inside there. Now, these took about 4 days to dry, and they are the simplest project to do.
Yeah, you do
they
need
take
dry
a while,
time.
and I think it's because they're inside and there's not much air circulation, so it takes a while. We put them out in the sun, and they did seem to dry faster. So make sure if you're gonna make them, it's about 4 days before.
I was just thinking when we kept checking on them, we're like, oh, they're still wet.
dry.
They're still wet.
Okay, so I'm gonna shake up our Mega Glitter here.
And one thing about Mega Glitter that's so cool is it's all different sizes of glitter. So there's ultra fine glitter and chunkier glitter. And that's what gives you, if you can get a close up,
that
really cool, very elegant, very, it's high. It's a lot of sparkle.
Yeah. And through the plastic, look at that.
Yeah, so shiny.
Isn't that crazy?
No flake.
No flake. Okay, so this is very simple, you guys. So we're gonna go and we're gonna just pour. Let's see that pour go in, right on in. And don't worry, there's gonna be no waste because all the extra is gonna go directly back into this bottle. Let me pour a little bit more in that for the sake of filming here. Then all you're gonna do is, let's see, can you see that? All you're gonna do is this. You're just going to twist and turn and keep going until your bottle, your plastic beaker, your plastic poison beaker looks like that. It's gonna be completely coated. And again, you can see the difference between the Mod Podge wet and then when it dries. Pretty amazing.
And you could do this on glass too. I mean,
Yes, you can do it on glass.
You know,
yeah.
It's fun for like mason jars. Now, if you wanted to make something like this one has a light inside of it that we removed when Steve did the glittering, you can't use a tea light in there, but you could use a battery operated tea light, and that creates a really pretty effect if you want to create like a candle look.
Yeah, even in glass, you don't want to use a tea light because it will.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Mod Podge. Now, when you have the extra in here like this, all I'm going to do is I tip it back over, and so there's no waste. You're going to see right now, it's just all going to go right back in to my Mod Podge Ultra Glitter Bottle, and there is no waste on this project at all. And there you have it. So there's kind of half of it, but you can see you're just going to want to rotate it. You keep rotating it, and you can even lay it down, and within 15 minutes, this entire thing is covered.
So the next thing we want to show you about is another one of the Mega Glitter formulas, but this is the hologram. And on the hologram, we have, these were some foam skulls. They started out like this, very plain and boring, kind of dry looking. And we added that hologram. Is the camera picking that up? Can you see that sparkle? And the hologram has a kind of aurora borealis in it, so it's going to pick up the pinks and the blues. And we also did it on these cool skeleton hand ornaments. So these ornaments, I'm going to show you those first. This started out as this kind of bone colored plastic, really cheapy looking thing, but it was a garland, and we didn't want a garland of it, so we cut them apart and said, let's make individual ornaments. And again, I primed it with my favorite stuff, our Folk Art Home Decor chalk. Primed it bright white, it's Adirondack white is what it's called, and then we top coated it with the Mega Glitter hologram. And it's going to be hard to see, but with the hologram, you really just go in and you just brush it right on to the hand. You just brush it on there, and I just let it dry on one side, and I flipped it over and brushed the other side, and I want to show you how shiny. Can you see that sparkle? So this is a really cool way if you want to just add a top coat to something. Maybe you want to just do a really quick something like this skull, same deal. You just go right over it and just add that top coat. And that's going to give it gloss and sparkle all at the same time. And then once these were done and dried, we just loaded them up. We found this plastic display dome.
Yeah.
And we just loaded them in there and added jewels to their eyes. These little domes were $2.
Yeah,
so I mean,
beat that
this
price.
is a really fun, quick and easy dollar store makeover. We made a whole bunch of these to display around the house and to do on the mantle. I also think this would be a cool tree topper. Although I love our spider.
Yeah, but our spider's coming up next too, by the way. I love this project.
Yeah, so these are really fun. And you could put anything in here. You could do this technique on a mini pumpkin, whatever your decor is.
Or something more gruesome if you'd like.
So that is the Mega Glitter hologram. Beautiful sparkle.
Okay, we on to the spider?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the messiest part.
This is, I mean, we're starting in the glitter section of our Halloween. Now, we found these spiders, again, at the dollar store, and they were considered to be chip and dip or candy dishes, but we used a little bit of glitter and Mod Podge and just created a decoration out of it. So of course you can't use chip and dips or candy in it anymore, but who cares, because look at this. Simple project. Want to hold that, Kat?
Yes, I love these.
Yeah, it's great. So we're just taking the Mod Podge. I mean, I'm sure you guys can all figure this out. And we're just coating.
And I think it's important to know that it does work on plastic, because not all glues and things stick to plastic. So this
sticks amazing to plastic.
Yeah, you can do this on plastic, or if you found an old glass thing at a thrift shop or something, you could do this technique on anything.
And we're going to show you how fast this project really is. So you want a nice amount, not too clumpy or anything, but just a nice amount. Move that away. And then I'm going to take the glitter, and we're just going to add it directly in. Again, use whatever color you want. We went with the traditional Black Widow. Where's my little, no waste here. And then you're just gonna go around like so. see, do I have enough? Boom. And voila, there it is. There is a Black Widow with using Mod Podge and glitter. It's that simple.
And we use this as jumbo ornaments.
Yeah.
Again, going back to what we were saying before about having different sizes of ornaments is really important for tree decorating. But we also use it as our tree topper, and we just use a black pipe cleaner to just tie it onto those top branches.
And no waste. Look at all that glitter goes right back in.
You know what's so crazy about glitter though is like you use glitter and then you filter it back in and it's like your jar is still full.
Yeah. And it still gets everywhere though. That's
Yes.
the other thing about glitter. Okay, so that's our spider. Let's move on to another glitter project. Very simple.
So Steve is going to set up for marbleizing.
Yes.
And I'm going to walk you through some of the ways that we used glitter to trick out other dollar store items. So everybody's seen these sort of funny foam cemetery, I don't know, what do you call it? Gravestones, right? And this is cute on its own, but we were going for a little bit more of a glammed up look. So for our glammed up look, we use black glitter and rhinestones, and we used Mod Podge gloss to attach all of it. So you can see we just went around the edge and we just tapped our brush there with the Mod Podge and sprinkled black glitter on there. And then we just added all these rhinestones here using Mod Podge. We literally just brushed it on and then just set them right in there. And it dries completely dry in about 2 hours. So this is a really fun way just to use your Mod Podge as a glue, just to glue on your gems and your glitter. Now these spiders, because we needed more glitter, actually came glittered. They came with this light black ultra fine glitter, but we wanted to add some chunk glitter to it. So we added on the body part, the same way Steve did the red glitter, we added the black glitter there. And these came in a package of a whole bunch. So when we go back and look at the tree again, you'll see that they're sprinkled all over the tree. A really fun way to do it. And then the last glitter ornament I want to show you, this started out as this garland. And one thing to note about when you're looking at thrift stores or dollar stores and trying to find things that you want to make over is sometimes, you know, the paint job isn't that great on what you're looking at. Or it's garland and you don't want garland, you want ornaments. So those are things that are really perfect for making over with Mod Podge. So this ornament here started out as that garland. We did not like the paint job at all, so we black glittered it, we added some gems to it, and we glued the whole thing just to a wood base that we Mod Podge paper down on, the same exact way that we Mod Podge the paper down onto our little coffin ornaments. So that's a super simple way to take something like this that's not so great looking and create something really fun for a tree.
Yeah, you know what? It's a good point because we're doing 2 garland projects this year, and sometimes what's on that garland, that string, is cool on its own, and that's what we saw in both of these projects.
Yeah, exactly. And the hands, you know, they were a fun garland, but we wanted individual ornaments, so that was really cool. And for, you know, I don't think I even talked about that. We just hot glued the flowers and just a yarn, just a, you know, knitting, crocheting yarn there. Very simple to do.
Oh my God, I'm having trouble over here. Next time we gotta get large.
Those are probably my size.
Oh, they are your size. Look at that. It's kind of creepy in its own.
Your hands are gonna lose circulation.
Oh my God, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna do these with creepy hands. We're gonna be doing some marbleizing. Marbleizing dripping is really, really, you know, just everybody's doing it on all different types of surfaces and art.
Oh yeah. Well, you've seen
home decoration, a lot of it.
I mean, this is one of our favorite techniques with the new Mod Podge Ultra because it's different. You can use it for marbleizing.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to be doing. We started with a dollar store pumpkin like this. This is styrofoam, and we're going to be doing some marbleizing dripping to look like this. So isn't that cool? So you can see right here, it's like it's dripping down, but we left some of the original pumpkin showing through that orange there. And I think these are just great decorations for, you know, these are good for like dinner parties on a table, a centerpiece, or, you know, all sorts of things you can do with these.
And one thing I like about these for the tree is they're so lightweight.
Yes.
When we take another look at the tree, you can see we just shoved them in. You know, it's like, You don't even need a hanger or
Yeah,
anything
and
like
we
that.
will go back to the tree, don't worry. We're gonna show you the tree at the very end of everything that we did all put together.
And any questions, please
Yes,
ask away.
type away. Okay, so what we're doing is we're doing a 4-color marbleizing. You can do 3, you can do 5, whatever you want. These are the colors that we're using for kind of our Halloween decoration. So you just want to pour your paint inside of, we like to use plastic cups, and you're gonna have to eyeball this because it all depends on the size of your project, of course. So for this little pumpkin here, this is kind of sufficient. We don't really measure out too much. Maybe because we've been doing it for so many years.
I can say that we did 5 pumpkins, and for those 5 pumpkins, we used 1 bottle of apple barrel paint.
Well, there you go.
So 1 bottle of orange, 1 bottle of black, 1 bottle of white, all of that. And we had a little bit of excess, but just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So from those 4 bottles, we did 5 pumpkins.
Okay.
And this is a fun project for kids too.
Oh, it's a great project.
They love getting messy, and they can marbleize and.
Yeah, so we have gray, orange, black, and white going on. And the way we're gonna marbleize, we're using the Mod Podge Ultra. So this is our spray Mod Podge. And if you aren't familiar with this, go on YouTube, check it out. We got a lot of videos on this. YouTube, Facebook,
Instagram.
Instagram.
All the Plaid social channels will have, and at plaidonline.com, you'll be able to find how to purchase it and things like
awesome.
that.
And it's an amazing product. So you just want to give it a little bit of a stir, and then I'm just going to take the cap off, and I'm going to add a splash of the Ultra
And it really is just a splash.
right on inside each of these. You can see how much I'm putting barely any in there. This stuff is super strong, concentrated. That's why it works so well for
Yeah, because
the
so many of
marbleizing.
the marbleizing mediums, you do more of a 50-50 ratio. This is
Yeah,
just
this is not.
just a.
And I'm gonna show you the consistency once I start pouring it out. You can see my stir sticks here have all the colors on it because we did these pumpkins with it. So you wanna make sure this is stirred and combined with the paint and the Ultra all together. Get that all nice and stirred in there. And look at the black going on and the white. Again, you can use any color paints for this project to make any color pumpkins. And again, you can do it on all sorts of surfaces, not just the pumpkins that we're doing. You can do it on any type of wood surfaces.
Canvases. In our last Make It with Mod Podge, we did a galactic theme. And on that one, we did this technique using a glitter formula. We used the extreme glitter Mod Podge. So when you added the colors to that, it just created this incredible sparkly look. So it's really fun. There's so many different.
Okay, so these pumpkins came with a little green stem here, so we're just gonna pull that out. It's just attached with a little toothpick. So now we have this base here. It's kind of nice because it has a little bit of a well. So we're just gonna pour. I'm gonna start with some gray, and I'm just gonna do one side for you, just so you can see. We're gonna add some gray. We're gonna add a little bit of the orange right on top of that, onto the side a little bit. Then we're gonna do some black on this side, like that. I always like to start from the top down, especially when I'm doing these marbleizing drips, and I'll put some white right in the middle. And you can play around with this.
You can always add more as
And
you're
we
going.
will, you'll see. And then I like to just kind of spin it around like this. You want those colors to kind of blend together and to move around together. So you can see how it just kind of drips down. Now the great thing about this is you can watch it and you can kind of add whatever you'd like. Like in this area here, it's like, okay, this black's, you know, kind of hanging out there. I'm gonna add a little bit more gray because it looks like I'm gonna push some of that black down with the gray, have that drip down, and then let's add a little bit more white on top of that. And you're gonna work all the way around your pumpkin with these colors. Now, of course, you can add more colors and more. You can see how this is kind of
that's
dripping
good.
down. So you can see how it's marbleizing right now. And again, you can add the colors you want. you would let this sit. What we would do is go all the way around, and then you kind of let this sit down, and it's all gonna work its way down. So the dripping kind of takes a little bit of time. It's gonna take, we keep it inside of these
lasagna pans.
amazing lasagna pans at the dollar store, of course. And
Our
then,
favorite.
Yeah, and then you can come back in 15 minutes and look at this thing, and it's gonna be completely changed and cool.
Yeah, as it starts to move.
As it starts to move, and it's gonna turn into something like this. So you just wanna make sure you have enough paint to work all the way around your pumpkin, and wiggle it around at first, and then you can kind of set it down and let it do its magic. There you go.
So that is our 14. We had 12 plus. It was actually 14 different ornaments that we wanted to show you. And I want to take you guys back over to the tree to take a look at some of those ornaments. So let's just recap at this top here. This was our glittered black widow spider. And we've got our hand down here. This started out as garland, and we added those flower decorations. We've got these sprinkled throughout. Here's our napkin decoupage on our glass ornament.
Our pumpkin is hidden back here. You can see that was just kind of tucked in there.
And yeah, and again, that's what's so nice about those. If you can see here, we've got our cheesecloth skull, and you can see all that detail that Steve was talking about coming through.
You just push in with the brush on those little areas.
Here's one of our little coffin box makeovers. And our large jumbo ghosts. I love how the ghosts are. And those are really fun because they do take up a good surface. We did not add a hanger. We've just used our little branches there to secure it. And then we have our skeleton. This was our garland, kind of pirate looking to start with. And our beaker bottles are down here. We've got a beaker bottle. And we've got another one of our poison bottles way up here.
There it is.
And what are we missing? Oh, our spiders. Here's one of our spiders down here. And here's our napkin decoupage. That's on the foam ball. And again, back up to one of our drippy pumpkins. So really, the sky's the limit. You just want to look for things
Let's get a full shot of this, Kath. And we'll,
oh, yeah.
You get that full shot of there? And this is the other thing about, you know, our tree is orange for Halloween, but you know, you can do this.
Oh, yeah.
If you have an artificial Christmas tree,
Yeah.
you can pull that out early and decorate it.
So all of these techniques that we showed you today can be utilized for Christmas as well, or any kind of decorations that you want to make over. You know, once you see how easy it is to do the napkin decoupage, you can do that for holiday ornaments. You can do the glittering on the inside and create tea lights. These techniques can go for any holiday.
Yeah, these are great for ornaments. The ultra fine, the mega glitter.
And you can do those in these as well. It does take a long time to dry though, so get started.
At least 4 days. Just remember that.
So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, and we will be there live answering your questions. And make sure you follow Plaid on all of their social media channels. What do we have? Instagram.
Oh my gosh, you go.
Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, I think. I don't think they're on Snapchat, but maybe.
I don't think so. Anyway, we aren't anyways.
No. Well, I do the filters.
Okay, well, anyway. We'll have a spooktacular time making some Halloween decorations.
Thanks for joining us, and we hope that you enjoyed seeing our Halloween tree.
Bye.